Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking some of the most powerful motivational ideas out there and boiling them down into a real, actionable blueprint for making a change. We're going to build a framework you can literally start using the second this is over.
So here's the roadmap for our chat. We're going to start with the internal stuff, the challenges that come with growth. Then we'll move into the external actions you need to take. After that, we'll tackle what happens when you stumble, that need for resilience. And we'll wrap it all up by talking about your ultimate purpose. Let's dive in.
All right, first up, let's talk about something I think we've all felt at some point, but nobody really wants to admit. That weird sense of loneliness that kind of creeps in the moment you decide to actually level up your life.
This really nails it, doesn't it? That feeling isn't a red flag telling you you're doing something wrong. It's the opposite. Think about it. When an athlete gets serious about their sport, they can't go to every party. When a business starts to take off, some old friendships might not fit anymore. That's not you being arrogant. That's just a natural part of your evolution.
So we have to completely flip the script on this feeling. Instead of seeing loneliness as this big, scary warning sign telling you to go back to your comfort zone, what if it's just a mile marker on the highway? A clear sign that you're leaving the old you behind and you're actually on the right path. It's proof you're finally in motion. Okay, so once we've kind of reframed how we see those external feelings, we've got to deal with the conversation happening inside our own heads. This is all about shutting down that voice of regret and completely demolishing the myth that there's a perfect moment to get started. And look, this slide breaks it down perfectly. You get one shot at this thing called life. And while, yeah, looking back, you can see your mistakes clearly, the feeling of regret itself, it's worthless. It gives you nothing. The only thing that has any value from a past mistake is the lesson you pull from it. That knowledge, that's your fuel. Regret is just dead weight you're choosing to carry.
You just gotta love how blunt this is. The whole idea of waiting for January 1st to make a change, it's basically just a giant marketing campaign we've all bought into. It didn't work last year, it's not gonna work this year, because a date on the calendar doesn't magically change you. On January 1st, you're the exact same person with the exact same habits you had on December 31st.
And here it is. This is the real secret. The perfect moment to start? It doesn't exist. Real, lasting change is made when you take action even when you have zero motivation. The best day to start is today, right now, especially if you don't feel like it. That decision, not a date, is what will actually change your future. All right, so our mindset is getting an upgrade, but now how do we take these big ideas and make them real? How do we actually turn them into something we can see and touch? Well, the source material lays out a super clear 4-step blueprint for doing just that. Okay, look at this like a ladder. You need every single rung. Dreams are the vision, they're the destination. But dreams without goals, that's just a recipe for disappointment. And goals without discipline, those are just wishes. And you know, discipline without consistency is just a flash in the pan. It's a quick burst of effort that just fizzles out. You need all 4 in that order. Oof, that's a tough question, isn't it? It's designed to make you stop and really think. For so many of us, there was a point where a dream got traded for a paycheck, for feeling safe, for the realistic option. This forces you to get honest with yourself and ask, was that trade really worth it? I absolutely love this metaphor. You know, every huge farm, every multi-million-dollar company, every incredible life transformation, it all started as one single tiny idea, one seed. But that seed had to be planted, it had to be watered with discipline, and it needed the sunlight of consistency. It's just a powerful reminder that the biggest results always start with the smallest actions. This is so crucial. Your potential has nothing to do with what other people think is possible. The world is just filled with people who will happily tell you what they couldn't do and then project those same limits onto you. The only question that really matters isn't, can I do this? It's, am I willing to do this? Okay, so you've started. You're being disciplined. But let's be real. What happens when you fail? When you hit a massive wall and it feels like you have to go all the way back to the beginning? This next part is all about resilience and the seriously underrated power of starting over. Let this metaphor really sink in for a second. Starting over does not mean you're starting from scratch. It means you're starting from experience. Just like that tree, even if the trunk is gone, the roots, your lessons learned, your inner strength, your resilience, they are still there, deep underground. That is the foundation you're building on now. And let's be totally honest with ourselves, this part hurts. Starting over isn't some cool movie montage set to an upbeat song. It's quiet. It's humbling. It makes you face all the fears and doubts you thought you'd already conquered. But you have to understand it's a normal part of any life worth living. It's not a failure, it's just life happening. So this slide basically lays out the two choices you have. You're at a crossroads. One path is to just stay there, clinging to whatever is broken, paralyzed by the fear of starting again. Or you can choose the other path, the path of courage. You can stand there in the ruins of what was and decide, nope, this is not where my story ends. This is where the next chapter begins. So let's bring all of this home. After you've navigated the loneliness, rewired your inner dialogue, built up your discipline, and learned how to get back up, what's it all for? What's the point? Well, this last section is all about purpose. It's about writing the story that only you can tell. This is such a profound idea. Your life isn't just the highlight reel you post online. Every single chapter, especially the ones that broke you, along with the ones that built you, they're all necessary parts of the plot. Your job isn't to pretend the hard parts didn't happen. It's to own every single one of them and use them as the ink to write your story. Man, this quote is a challenge. It really forces you to take a hard look at your goals. Are you climbing the right ladder? Because think about it. Failing while you're trying to do something that truly matters to you, that's honorable. But succeeding at something that deep down in your soul you know is meaningless, that is the real tragedy. So I want you to remember this. You are the author. Every single day, you get a blank page. The ideas we've talked about today, they're not just feel-good motivation. They are a call to action. This is not a practice run. This is it. So let this final question fuel not just your thoughts, but your actions. Go out there and create your masterpiece.